Yo, Mark, I'll be right out. He can't hear me. The window's closed. The window's closed. The window's closed. Window is closed. Who did we get? Nobody knows. I try to forget. Did we get that guy? Did we get the other? He spotted in London. A tweet from his mother would link with a guy out of our league, about to sign just what we need. Old lady calls. You got no balls. Our team is the laws. Cue all the trolls.
You know you need somebody. Anyone will do. But your club is run by children, and they ain't got a clue. The window is closed. The travel window's closed. The window is closed. It's
Every year it's the same, linked with the name, but it ain't true. Who gets the blame? Mad at your club, mad at the news, mad at the social, all about views. Got me to click, reading some shit, wasting my time, I'm through with this shit. I got no say, so what the hey? Turn my shit off to the end of the day.
You know you need somebody. Anyone will do. But your club is run by children, and they ain't got a clue. The window is closed. The travel window's closed. The window is closed. It's too
Welcome back to the Stoop, football fans. It's your boy Lolo. And yes, as you just heard me so lovely sing, the window is closed. Shut that window. No more ins, no more outs. It is over. It is done. Hopefully. We don't know about that Saudi window yet, or some of these other weird international windows that close at different times. But that's it. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about what your team has done, what your team hasn't done, what other teams have done, who has won the window, who has lost the window, and all that good stuff. But welcome back, everybody. It's another Friday night. It's time to crack them open. So it's time to crack those beers. Let's hear it.
Oh.
Hey,
Yeah.
Johnny boy.
Hey. Whoa, hey.
Cheers, my man. All right. Leeds got some transfers in, some transfers out. Very interesting. Arsenal doing some business, getting rid of some dead weight, you might call it, getting some money in. We doubled our money on Rob Holding. Big $2 million means nothing these days. But anyway, Daniel Hurt says, Cine left Leeds. Sad day. Sad day. We really thought Sinistero would be able to help Leeds United with their championship run, trying to get back into the Premier League. Speaking of teams that got into the Premier League, Luton Town played their first home match in the Premier League era. And after having to wait and postpone a match because things weren't ready at the stadium, they got to play tonight against West Ham, and they lost 2-1. West Ham unable to keep a clean sheet. But another surge by the Hammers. The Hammers still invincible right now, which is crazy because I thought they were going to be in a relegation battle, but they've done some very good signings. They've also kept Luis Paquetá. They brought in James Ward-Prowse. That's going to be one of the signings of the season. Just watch it. The new Mexican guy that they got, oh my gosh, Edson Alvarez.
It's not Lolo?
It is not Lolo, no. But yeah, John Lufgarside says, poor window for us letting Cine go. Yeah, but you got some other signings that and you know, this Daniel Farke era of Leeds United seems to be on the right track. I think you got the right guy in charge right now. He's a bit of a no-nonsense type of guy, yet showing the way he's handled the Willy Gnonto situation as well, showing that, you know what, if you got the right attitude, you can make your way back into the team. So, and big up to Willy Gnonto getting called up to Italy squad for the international. Also, big shout out to Mr. Eddie Nketiah, who got his first call up to the England squad. Big on you there. And to Harry Maguire, who somehow finds his way benched, stripped of the captaincy, threatened to be sold, threatens the club, and somehow he's still on the England team. I don't know. English people, tell me what you think about that. Slabhead. Very, very odd. Very weird stuff. All right. So Scooby D2 says, how do friggin' robot Hoover arrive today? Was excited. It is secondhand. It gets stuck in corner and don't get stuff up. Great. I'm a bit annoyed. It may have to go back. Well, Scooby D2, thank you for actually letting us know how your transfer window went. And sometimes when you get a secondhand Hoover, it sucks. Whoa, big jokes coming in at 6 minutes. Let's get Mark in here before I get a red card myself.
My Lord. My Lord. I just got to say, Scooby D2, I feel you. I feel you. Because that almost sums up how Wolves transfer window went. But did you win a Grammy for that goddamn song? Because you should.
No, man.
You deserve a Grammy.
Listen, they offered me one.
You
they
deserve
offered me one,
something.
and
like BET
I went on stage,
should reach out to you. Or
I went on stage and said, "This is Beyonce's. This is Beyonce's," and I let her have it. So
Kanye came out and said, "I'm gonna let you finish, but I gotta tell you."
If Lolo doesn't get a Grammy,
Lolo had the best song in the world.
I
don't know why he talks like that.
Singing that song.
He kind of talks like this a little bit. I don't know.
Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. I still think it's one of my best songs out there. I don't have that many, so it is one of my best. So there you go. And Stan the Man, there he is. I know you love that song, Stan the Man. And listen, Stan, if you're interested in popping on the show, just let me know. I'll send you that link. Because it has been a couple of weeks of not speaking about Arsenal enough. So we kicked out that Newcastle guy who comes and joins us all the time, Tony. He is not allowed on the show tonight. All those West Ham fans chickened out. As soon as Luton Town scored that goal, the West Ham fans told us, guys, we're not going to be able to make it on the show tonight. Naji.
I'm sorry. Y'all have to back me up here. Was that a handball?
That was a handball.
Was that a handball?
It was a handball.
And should that have been a penalty? Because I think Luton got robbed. I think they got robbed of a potential point.
Now, I don't know if Luton score that, but I don't know if they convert the penalty.
What do you think? What's the percentage of penalties converted across the league? Like, is it 80%, 60%?
It is upwards of like 80, but you have to understand that the majority of the penalties are awarded to bigger clubs who have better strikers, who have penalty takers, who constantly take penalties. So you're looking at an 80% that was mostly Harry Kane, Haaland, Bruno Fernandes, Saka.
Well, Haaland's percentage would down.
Haaland missed one
Wait,
already.
Are you telling me that they don't practice this? Every club practice this.
Their penalty taker does practice them.
And I bet you there's a few more that do. But I'm gonna say it here, Luton, you were robbed. If to every non-Luton fan out there,
they were robbed of a chance.
They were robbed of a chance, and as Lloyd Christmas was saying, so you're saying I got a chance.
Mark, how do you feel about your transfer window for the Wolves?
I am angry. I hated our transfer window. I hate the fact that we wait till the last second and then we scrape the bottom of the barrel, and these players are supposed to help us, and we are so threadbare that these players will help us. We need players because the last 2 years we have been a fire sale. And what I don't like, with the exception of Morgan Gibbs-White going to Nottingham Forest for a good chunk of change, I was happy about that. I did think that Gibbs-White was a bit of a talent, but I mean, everyone. I'm getting a lot of slack on the threads from Wolverhampton fans, and because I don't buy this deal that Nunes going to a city, and then not only we get our pants pulled down, but then we have to watch their boy on loan. Here, take care of our boy for us. We don't have a place for him right now. And they're saying, it's like, well, if you want, you can buy him for $5 million. But if you sell him, which is what Wolves do, they don't even develop a player. They just showcase a player and then sell him off. City gets half.
Yeah, and Mark, Mark, that's not even a one or the other. Like, it's not you buy him, okay, the sell-on clause is no longer there. The sell-on clause is there forever.
Yeah.
If they ever sell it. Like, we just got money from Mavropanos.
Yeah. And
Mavropanos, who hasn't been at the club for years.
So we're going to have to sell him for over 10 mil just to, like, make a penny. And if I'm Wolves, I'm selling dude for, like, 5,000,001 cents. just to fuck up. But then they would get half of the 5 mil, not just the 1 cent.
They'd get half of the
1
cent.
The thing I don't like about Nunes is everyone thinks Nunes is a good deal. And if there's any of you Wolves fans out there watching, or if you're going to watch this on replay or whatever, I'm going to tell you this. We made approximately 13 million on Nunes. And you would think that's a good amount of change. Given how midfielders are going for, I think that's a bit of a I think we got lowballed. But I also want y'all to consider this. Sporting gets 10 million. That was the sell-on clause for Matheus Nunes. So guess what? For all you think that we got a good deal and that we made a little bit of money, we did just that. We made a little bit of money. And in today's market, we should be doing better than that. And that's why I'm angry.
Well, that's why, like Jimmy's saying right here, Man City lawyers really work the small print. Oh, John had that ready. Oh, man, you've got like an itchy and scratchy sliced off cranium going on there.
Hey, man, we got some blood, sweat, and tears going into the season. We're going to be okay.
It's like for our show, we had to do it smart. We loaned Tom out to the trip, and now we're just praying the trip does really, really well. And when they sell Mr. Tom to a Leeds channel, we get 50% of that. So
that's a good deal. That's a good deal.
Wait,
I would like to have him.
We get 50% of whatever Gary makes?
Whatever he sells Tom for, yeah.
Okay.
And Cyril is included because I put it in the small print. So if Tom goes only for 8 million, but Cyril goes for 2, we're looking at a cool 5 million.
But I gotta say, Cyril goes out on loan and a forever buy-in clause for 50% of whatever Cyril goes for, because that kid's got talent.
Yeah. Well, speaking of our loan system, I think it's going to work really well, and we've got one of our guests here tonight who's already backstage. I saw him pop on as soon as we mentioned his show. So whenever he's back on here, we'll bring Gary on and we'll ask him about that loan, how that loan's going. It was very weird sending a Leeds player to an Arsenal show. So we'll see how it's working out, but I think he's doing very well. Let's get Gary in here. Gary.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
cheers, brother. Oh, you got your Arsenal America thing. They sent me a whiskey pouch.
I've yet to use that thing. I haven't figured out when I'm going to use it.
I put water in it and it spit it right out. So I'm assuming it's for whiskey.
Hello.
Yeah.
Lolo. Hello, Mark. John in the back. Everybody in the chat. Welcome to the show. Hello.
What's going on? So, Gary, how much do you think we're going to be able to sell on Mr. Tom for?
You know what?
I think a year or two on the trip.
You know what? You read the contract, but you probably didn't notice I had moved the decimal point over a little bit.
Oh no, our lawyers are better than that.
Who's your lawyer?
Hate to break
John.
it to you. Our lawyer
John's our lawyer.
is. Who's our lawyer? Our lawyer.
Our
is,
lawyers are we cheat them and how?
Do we cheat him in hell?
Our lawyer is Lionel Hutz.
Oh my God. Yeah, awesome. So let me ask you guys, how the hell is Chelsea still buying players?
They
How
found
the
some-
hell is Nottingham Forest buying players?
They bought a lot of. Didn't they? They bought a lot of players
They bought
last
like
season.
35. They bought 35 players last year. They're buying another 20 here. They're just stockpiling.
Well,
And
they
it's just
loaned a
like-
bunch of them. They loaned them in last year, so they lost most of those players. But this season, and I think a couple of them that they were gonna get didn't go through. But they did get rid of Brennan.
A nice
Brennan
chunk of change
Johnson?
for that young man.
Brennan
Yeah,
Johnson.
so we have to play. So we
Johnson,
have to play him twice.
They got
Yeah,
they
going
got
over
40
to the
more
chicken
times,
heads.
I mean. 2 more
Forrest
times.
got
Well,
40
good.
million for him. and
Gary, we'll give
replaced
him an open
with-
goal. We'll give him an open goal on the 24th and see him put it over the bar again. I'm not mad about that because he went to the Chicken Heads, led by the worst signing. I'm sorry. Can we just officially call Richarlison the biggest flop? Like everybody's talking about Pepe's the biggest flop. Pepe scored a bunch of goals.
Are you kidding me?
Richarlison has scored.
Pepe by
Actually,
Pepe-
I like Richarlison.
I got my Richarlison cut off when I was a baby.
Oh no! Oh,
Mhm. Yes, sir. This is all it takes to just gross out Gary. So we're just gonna just keep piling on for Gary.
all I can see is whatever. Say it again. All I
My
can see is
Richarlison.
on the floor. That's all I can see right now. I did. That's all.
Well, you know, I mean,
The crazy thing,
he
Gary,
is
when they
quick to
cut it
take
off,
that shirt.
it went around the room like this. With his shirt off. I was like, you didn't even score. I'm a baby. Just because you came out of my mom didn't mean you went in my mom. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, Gary, this is 17 minutes into the show. We shouldn't be like this yet, Gary. This is your fault.
I'm
I
sorry.
usually
No,
bring on Ben or somebody.
Oh, that just. Oh, God. That just. When
Well-
it's painful. This sounds painful. 'Cause it means no. Okay. Next.
Okay, back to football. No, can anybody answer how the hell Chelsea are still signing people? I don't understand. They were like 2 million short from getting Caicedo because they didn't have the money. They couldn't do it. And now all of a sudden they're signing more players and more players and more players. And
But you know what? I don't.
I
I
think
assume
that it-
I assume this whole net spend thing is a thing because if it is, then they've spent 30 mil more than we have when you add it all up. When you add up the and it come-ins and go-ins of what they did this window.
In today's football money, 30 million is like I'm dropping that into the cup of the homeless person on the corner. That is a
honestly,
drop in
I don't
the
know how
fucking
Rob
bucket,
Holding
my
didn't
friend.
go for 30 million. Like you're absolutely right, Mark. Like how the
Actually,
hell?
I think his hair went for 30 million, but
Oh, so
you know,
when they did all the math,
they
it
had to
came out
average it
four.
all out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
His hair had a
Look,
50
can
million
I
sell-on
can
clause.
I ask about that? I got 2 Arsenal fans on here, and I actually want
I'm
to
leaning
ask
to a
this:
big
like,
no.
do you think that the teams? Hey, what's going on,
That's three.
Stan? Hey,
Since
let's
you
three
said
Arsenal
we got
fans.
Arsenal fans, we
I'll
said
just-
let's
I
bring
saw
it
now,
you,
in.
now
man.
there's 3 Arsenal fans, but
I saw you.
and now there's a 4th being taken away.
Yeah.
Mark, we see that kit behind you. Stop trying to hide that kit behind
I'm
you.
not hiding
I remember
nothing.
that song. Mark is a goon.
I
Mark
had
is a
so
goon.
much fun, but I'm not getting into a negative space here when I'm about to ask this question. But do y'all think now that the transfer window is closed and there doesn't look like there's any more additional Arsenal signings, do you feel that at the last minute you guys shed a lot of depth?
I don't think so. Because if you look at the numbers, like I look at the minutes played in the Premier League. No, because Rice is going to play probably every game if Arteta has his way. So that's pretty much most of the minutes right there.
The most of the minutes, so that includes Champions League.
Well, right now
you guys did get a pretty gracious draw.
True.
In Champions League compared to like Newcastle, who's like in the fucking group
call
of death.
Us the Champions League.
What?
You just said the Champions.
What is in that glass you got over there?
What is in my headphones?
I'm drinking mint tea, and I got a little bit of coffee. I'm not on the lash, but it seems to me it's like you guys shed Tierney, Lukanga.
It's funny you should ask because I was looking at this because I was thinking a similar thing. You have a lot of people out the door. How will that affect us? Basically, in just thinking about the Premier League as a whole, 4,600 minutes are out the door based on either loans or sales. When you're bringing in Rice and you're bringing in Havertz, those minutes are probably right there, covers both of them. If you think about just those two players. If, and this is always an if and a hope, if Milsref-Rowe, Nelson, Fabio Vieira, and Kiwior improve either in health or in their performances, there's a minutes there. So I don't think the minutes is an issue. The problem is, will Arteta actually use them? Because we have players that can fill the spots. And we're not missing, if you think about it, we're not missing Tierney because he stopped using him. Marquinhos played 1 minute. Lukanga, we're fine. We have Jorginho. All right? Cedric Suarez played 30 minutes. Not a problem there. And then Rob Holding, we could do better. All right? So
yeah, and
Gary, Xhaka had most of those minutes. So I looked that up because I was just thinking a similar thing. Because somebody said you guys are letting a lot of depth out the window. I'm like, not really.
It's not really depth that we use. And don't forget, we also have the best Mo that's not being linked to a Saudi club in the league. We have Mohamed El Nene, and like him or not,
your longest standing gunner.
Like him or not, Mo comes in and does his freaking job. When he's healthy, he comes in and does his job. He's nothing mind-blowing or anything like that. So I'm looking for Mo once he's fully healthy, he will be in cups. He will be in, and this is if something happens to Jorginho, Rice, Partey. We have depth of Mo, which to me is like a holding type of skill-wise, a holding, but better than holding. So like when Mo has to come in, it's not the drop-off that it is when Holding has to come in.
How you doing?
Hi, Stan.
How you doing, Stan? You haven't said a word yet. They haven't let you say a word.
I'm picking my moment.
I'm just going to quickly dovetail on that. And it's like, yes, there are players that won't be missed, but to me, it seems that you guys got awfully thin in the back during this transfer window, where last season you guys got awfully thin in the midfield.
Mark, it's summertime. You're supposed to get thin in the back. The winter is when you build up that bulk in the back so your girl can get right up next to you, you know? Come on now. Stan, are we thin at the back?
No, I think we're actually pretty stacked because we have players that can play in various positions. And Mikel will play right backs in left back spaces. He'll play right-footed players in left-footed spaces. And as for the ones that we've let go out the door, most of them are coming back in the season. We've only really kicked the can down the road and delayed stuff. And I don't know how that's going to affect those values of those players when they come back. I mean, I find it shocking that we couldn't get anything for Tierney. We couldn't get anything. And surely his standing in the game must have increased from moving to Celtic and Arsenal and how he's played. I mean, he was almost our captain, right? Everybody was calling out for it. So even though I've been looking online and people have been asking, what do you think of the window? And I've seen what people have been rating. A lot of people have been saying it's an 8 or a 9. I don't think it is that, because out of the ones that we've brought in, David Raya, Kai Havertz, I would have preferred to have the money that we had spent on Kai Havertz yesterday and be spending it today on someone.
Yeah.
Timber,
for sure.
Timber looks like, you know, when you go to buy a high performance sports car and you go to the factory, they let you drive one around, but you can't take it home. You have to wait for a year and go back and collect the one that they built for you. That's what I feel like we've had with Timber. We've had the test drive, but now we have to wait for another season for him to come back.
That test drive was so good. That test drive was
yeah,
so
but you know what?
He looked really good.
Somebody slammed that test drive into the wall, and they said, you know what? We're not giving you back. We're not giving you a new car. You're going to have to take this one after we fix it.
We're going to slam it into the wall, and we're going to see if we can drive it again. You know, Stan, I just got to say something here that looking at you on my video feed, I expect to hear in the background some.
This is Stan,
and you're going to give the weather report. You're going to be like, well, everything here is, or no, not the weather report, the traffic report.
I usually get mad for it.
Jam up on the I-94.
Yeah, no. I feel more like he needs a cigarette and go, there must be some kind of way out of here.
There's gotta be some way out of here. No, I've been camping out on my balcony to do podcasts in the summer, and I need to have some shades on because it's nice and sunny here in Vancouver at the moment.
Oh, beautiful, man.
You know,
lovely.
But can I just finish what I was saying there as well? The biggest problem I think that
it's
Arsenal
happy hour,
is,
so generally no, but
it's sales. We're just not good at the selling part of it. I mean, I'm still shocked how, you know, the amount of money that Rasmus Højlund goes for, and then you compare that for what we got for Balogun, who I would say had more in the bank credit-wise, or we couldn't get anywhere near to what they got. I just feel that we're not good at the selling bit, and that takes the number down for me. You know, for the transfer window, it takes it down.
Absolutely, Stan. I was looking at it today with what's his name? This guy from Chelsea, Ian Madsen from Chelsea. He goes to Burnley for 31.5. 31.5. Do you know who Ian Madsen is?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Apparently, he played for Burnley on loan last season and did very well. But we got 21.5 for Xhaka. And that's where I'm like, when I saw what we sold Xhaka for, I was going, don't sell him then. We cannot get, for 21.5 million, we cannot get somebody to fill the Xhaka role. We're going to have to spend a lot more, and it's going to take time. For 21.5 million, fuck that. No. Now, do you guys think the money that we're not getting for people like Xhaka, we're not getting for Tierney, is because we have a refusal to sell to any Premier League club? If Tierney went to a Premier League club, could we gouge them a little bit?
If he's not good for you, then that means there's something wrong with it, right? You look at City. They'll sell any of their players to anybody. They don't care because guess what? They know what they're doing, right? And if you don't play them like we do, then that means there's something wrong with him. And no matter what happens when you play them next, look out for this guy because he's not going to do this, he's going to do that, and you're going to get one on him, right? Because that's the reason why you let him go in the first place. So you know his good qualities and his bad qualities. So for me, you should be confident in your evaluation of your team. If they can't play for you, because we see it, they're sitting on the bench, there's something wrong with them, right? If another team gets something out of them, so what? You got hopefully more money for it, and you can get an upgrade. That's the key to this whole thing. The whole thing is if we sold all of our players to Chelsea and they gave us a ton of money and we went out and got better, why do we care?
But Gary, Chelsea literally just did that to us with fucking Kai Havertz. They lost no money on Kai Havertz.
We didn't even seem to negotiate with them. We just turned up with
we didn't even negotiate.
There you go.
Straight up like,
so you guys thinking around 65? Is that you guys 65? Like, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yes, perfect. No, that was
and
the worst.
And that 8% tip as well. We probably gave them an 8% tip, like was in a restaurant. You know, extra bit.
Yeah.
And we didn't even wait.
We're in Brooklyn. This is like 25%.
8%, you cheap bastards.
Exactly.
Vancouver, man. They don't know how to tip.
Yeah, Crunk is American, all right, you Canadian bastard. 8% tip. No wonder your country's
There are a lot of fine eateries that I'm not allowed back into, so.
There's a cheapskate coming in here. No, buddy. We refuse services to you.
What I want to know about Arsenal is, though, right? I think we've brought in about 75 million, around about 75 million. Where does that money go? Does that money go back into a transfer kitty, or does that money go back to pay off the money that we've already spent because we're a self-sustaining model? Do you see what I'm getting at? Is that like we've given you 200, so the money you sell, we need that back? Or does that money go back into, buying players? That's what I don't know.
I'm an Arsenal Red member, so I got a check this week for $30. But the week we bought Rice, I had to pay like 300. So I don't know. I thought we're very communist over here. We all kind of pay a bit. No, but that's a good question. Does it go towards buying new players? Does it go to the facilities? Where does all this money come and go from? I can't answer that question. So I'll just drink more.
I really don't know. I really struggle to kind of wrap my head around financial fair play, and it's like when I see a team like Nottingham Forest who are able to buy, when I see a team like Bournemouth and Fulham who are able to buy, and Wolves are just like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, Fosun and Chairman Sheed, they're all like, oh yeah, we're running this like a business. I could run a business better than this. This is terrible business. We're bringing on players for loan with an option to buy with a 50% buy off. We're selling. We sold our arguably our best player at the time. Once we sold everybody else off, Mateus Nunes, we sold him for 57 or something like that. We bought him for 35. We owe Sporting 10. I know I've said this already, but it just infuriates me.
But Mark,
and it's like, and when you say, where does the money go and where does the money come from? Well, obviously the Wolves don't know, or I should say, Wolves.
No, you shouldn't. Mark, here's the thing, Mark. You keep harping on this 50% sell-on clause, and I know we were joking about it earlier, but listen, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, they have very, very, very good development camps.
Academy?
I'm missing the word. Academies.
Academies?
They have very, very good academies. So what you're getting from Man City in this player that I'm forgetting his name, you're getting an academy kid. You're getting an academy kid from Man City. It's not an Aston Villa. It's not a Luton Town Academy. You're getting somebody, and the reason they put a 50% sell on is because they know dude's going to be good. So I know you're shaking your head, but all I'm saying is listen, in 2 years' time, if you guys actually do develop him, and who knows where the money will be in 2 years' time, where an average player might be going for 60, 70 million at that point, you sell him on 50% sell. You give them 30 million, but you get 30 million plus the Nunes money. You know what I mean? Like, you're not getting a nobody, even though we haven't heard of him.
I don't think it's a good deal, because here's how I see it. We got our pants pulled down on Nunes, and then they said, watch our kid.
But you can look at it another way.
We're going to watch their kid for like a year, because we've already sent him off to Grasshopper.
Oh, you sent him off on a loan?
We've already done that. So he's not playing for Wolves.
What if he
sent it off?
What if he fucking kills it and then he comes back?
Where?
At Grasshopper, doing whatever grasshoppers do.
My point exactly. So you tell me this. You tell me this. Like, you guys sold Balogun for what? 40.
We sold him though. That doesn't matter.
I know. I get that.
£34 million.
I get that. How much?
£34 million, I think it was.
30. You sold him for 34. Now,
don't seem.
I guess what I'm asking is how happy would you be if you had a 50% sell-on clause on him?
We'd be
We've
really
got
happy.
17.5%.
Exactly.
Which I thought
we got
was
a
like,
17.
I thought to myself, I was like, wow, that's really good. You're talking about 50%.
Okay,
when
well,
I play
we
FIFA,
agreed to 50
I have never let anyone
for
have more
someone
than
who's
3%.
nobody.
Like my
And
kids in
all we're
restaurants.
doing is developing and giving playing time to their player for a year, and we're gonna, because of that condition, we're not hanging on to him. That
Why
makes
not?
no fucking sense.
No. Selling him makes no sense. Hanging
So
on
what?
to
You're
him
just gonna
and
hang
making
on
him
to
your
him?
own
What if
player.
he's what
Make
if he
him your own
doesn't
fucking
develop?
player. You have a
So
Man
you're
City
so
Academy
you are
player.
stuck with him for the rest of your
Mark,
years.
You don't know if he's
once,
bad yet.
You
Do
haven't
know
gone
if
to
he's bad yet?
Portugal.
You don't know if he's good. Have
That's
you
what
ever
gotta
heard of
Somebody
him?
does.
But
Have
They
you
wouldn't
ever
have brought
heard of him, Gary?
they wouldn't have brought him into his academy if they thought he was
Well,
terrible.
Jesus
right?
Christ, you're almost laughing to prove your point. It's terrible.
No, I'm not laughing. But is their academy good?
I have no idea.
Everybody
I've
says
only
their
been
academy
watching
is really
football
good. It's
for
hard
3
to get
years.
into, right? And you see what happens to all their players that don't make it, which is most of the academy players don't make it, go for a lot of money. Why is that? Because they have the quality, they have talent, right?
And so we're just going to give half to City. Here you go.
Yeah.
Take a bunch of money.
Nothing for it.
Because they
Mark,
need it.
the
and
only
in
reason
today's market, a half is not good enough.
Mark, the only reason you would have to pay City anything is if you were getting money for this kid. Right now, he's free. He's free to you. He costs you nothing.
No, he's going to cost
You got to
us.
pay his wages.
We
But what
pay
are
his
his
wages. I have
30
no idea.
grand? Like, come
I
on.
have no idea.
Let him flop.
Did they
Let
give him a
flop.
raise before they send him to us?
Let him fucking flop then, and you don't have to worry about anything. But if he's good, you use him, you bring him into the squad, and then if somebody comes in and says, yo, here's 80 million for that kid from City, you're like, awesome, take him. We'll gladly give City 40 to take 40. That means the Mateus Nunes deal was actually 40 million more. No, Mark, to answer your question,
Still,
if
you can
if
justify
I'm selling
it all you want, but no, I don't.
You're not doing anything for it right now. He doesn't take any minutes.
It's free.
He's not taking any minutes from your
Are
team.
you fucking kidding me?
What are you
We're
doing for
developing the player.
How are you developing? You
Good.
just said you loaned him out. How does that? How if you're loaning a
Grasshopper
player
is
out?
developing.
We
How
own
is
just like Chelsea owns whatever team that they just bought in the last
but you're not
last
doing
year.
the
We own
work.
Grasshopper. They're our fucking AAA team.
You gave him to the Grasshoppers, and the Grasshoppers are showing him how to like do stuff. So
How to jump.
Like rub his legs together and hope that he goes back to
the
City.
problem in my head right now is I'm torn between Grasshopper the insect and Grasshopper the drink, and I'm like, hopefully you gave.
And
him
I'm
the
thinking
insect.
of Carradine.
That's who I'm
thinking
thinking
of David
exactly.
Carradine.
I'm thinking of
When
him.
it's Grasshopper,
walking the world.
Grasshopper the cookie.
Yeah.
The
know,
Grasshopper
When you can walk on the
cookie.
right- when you can walk in the sand without leaving footprints, you are ready, my son. That's probably the training he's getting at Grasshopper.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. When you can
That-
snatch the stone from my hand, boot to the head.
That reminds me of that old George W. Bush joke. Do you guys remember that? That has to do with that, Stan? No?
No,
It's where
tell me.
George W. Bush is telling a story, and he's saying, so one day I was walking on the beach, right? And I was walking on the beach with Jesus. And Jesus was with me, and we were walking on the beach, and I turn around, and there's only one set of footprints, and I said to Jesus, and Jesus says, and I forget what he says, but the point is, Jesus was flying. Yeah, there's the.
I forget. I forget what Jesus said.
The point is, Jesus was fucking flying.
That was terrible. Sorry. Did I say that out loud? Oh.
It's not my joke.
Oh no, it's your joke. You now
You
own
claimed
it.
that one. That is yours now. It is on the
It is
interweb.
on your
That is
joke.
like a 20-year-old joke.
Nobody knows
Boot
that.
to the head.
Nobody knows that.
It's all right. You're not Americans, so
I saw another one. It was like a meme thing, and it was Biden and Obama talking to each other, leaning in, and Biden saying to Obama, "You know, every morning I usually take a dump at about 8 o'clock in the morning." And then the next picture down, Obama's saying back to Biden, "So what's the problem with that?" And the next one down, Biden says, "I don't wake up till 9."
Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, good. Mark, what do you got?
Is this horrible joke night or
Yeah, I
something?
guess so.
It is. It is.
Welcome to
Friday
happy
night
hour.
Happy hour. This
I'm
is
here
what
all
we
week.
do, folks. If any of you are seeing us for the very first time, this is right on schedule.
Let's bring this other guy in that's waiting down.
We have another guy
You
in
got
here.
somebody
Where?
else.
Oh shit!
Oh, good
we have
Lord,
a
look
3
at
rows.
Dirty
of-
Chris is in the house, people.
Chris.
Dirty
a lot
Chris
of
must
him.
be happy. How happy are you, Dirty Chris?
About what?
Yeah,
We got
Liverpool somehow
What do you
ended
mean
up having a
about what?
decent window.
None of us are happy about this window. I hope you are.
I like picking
gonna
up
get
this
more
Gravenberg kid. He barely played at Bayern, but he's a year or two ago when he was at
Gravenberch.
Ajax, he was one of the most touted midfielders. So I just think it's hard to crack at Bayern's midfield right now when you have Kimmich and Goretzka, and yeah, I'm pretty happy. Someone wrote a comment that we picked up another defender or something, unless when they said the Pool picked up a defender, they meant Blackpool, but
Or Hartlepool.
Hartlepool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems, from what I've seen, Liverpool did pretty well.
We got a whole new midfield. I mean,
That's what
which you needed.
Your front line is fine, and your back line is fine. If you get Trent off of there and turn him into a midfielder, you're good. You've just had no midfield. You've been a weak center. You've been a Cadbury egg.
I'm happy.
I actually have a question about Liverpool that I saw today, because apparently Virgil van Dijk is facing charges with the Premier League because of his abusive language toward the official after his red card. So his red card's 3-game suspension. Is this something that could be added on? Not that Liverpool will face any sort of charges.
Ended up with 1 game on the red card, but I think it was only 1 game.
He's a straight
red.
No,
it was a straight red. He should have 3, and you guys used your get out of jail free card with McAllister.
I don't think on a denial of goal scoring opportunity it's an automatic 3. I think he's only out for 1.
Violent
I
conduct
thought a straight red was automatically 3
games. It has to be like a violent conduct red. I could be wrong, but I thought I read that it was only 1 game.
I thought it was 3.
No,
straight
2
red.
yellows is a 1-game ban.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
So
Might be
I
wrong.
don't know. You guys got off late, but what does
Guys,
it mean?
Liverpool
as
has
like
different rules than us, so we may not know.
Liverpool's got different rules. Man
different.
United's got different rules.
Because I'm
Arsenal
sorry,
gets
if
different
Trent
rules.
Alexander-Arnold was Japanese, he sent off that match earlier. So
Oh, Jesus
That first yellow was bullshit. It should have been a yellow.
doesn't matter, Chris.
Should have been a yellow
Doesn't
on
matter.
Gordon.
Go back to
No.
the Arsenal match.
No,
They were both bullshit.
I don't care. Shut up. This isn't a rational show. Shut up. That's not a yellow.
He
No.
gets a yellow.
We've never
for
been
time
rational,
wasting.
folks.
Nope.
He gets a yellow on a throw-in
Okay.
for time wasting when all of his teammates did the time wasting.
Okay.
You want to talk about a bullshit yellow? And then the pullback, he didn't even touch him.
What about Joe Linton with 5 fouls and no yellow cards? Let's talk
Good,
about the Rock.
good. Get him off the pitch too. I don't care about him. I'm talking about that terrible defender Trent Alexander-Arnold and Tomiyasu.
Yeah.
Tommy Yasu didn't touch that guy. He was just like, "There's a bit of fluff in your kit there. Let me just get." And the guy fell over.
And then 2 minutes later, Kai Havertz grabs IU and throws him on the ground. No card, no foul. Like, what the fuck? They hate Japanese people.
They hate Asian people. Just ask Number Wang.
That was not good.
Well,
that is not
that's
good.
Number Wang. Anyway, Chris, are you happy with your transfers?
I'd like one more defender, but
who did you bring in, Chris? Remind us. Who did he brought in, please?
Alexis
Gravenberch. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Gravenberch from Bayern. Alexis McAllister from Brighton. I can't say it. Dominic
Shablaski and Endo.
And the defensive midfielder from Stuttgart, Endo. He's going to probably be our sit back defensive mid.
Okay.
And he'll get
that sounds too bad.
Trent.
Yeah. No, I'm very happy with the midfield. We lost a lot more in the midfield than I thought we would because we lost Keita,
Henderson,
we lost Ox.
I wouldn't say you lost anything because half of them went to Saudi Arabia and you got a shit ton more money than they're worth.
No, actually, Ketia was a free transfer, as was Milner.
Jordan Henderson and
Mina was a free transfer.
I think we only got like 15 million for Henderson.
Nat Phillips.
Yeah, we got to get him out for Firmino.
Only 2 players they got money for. So
Firmino.
Yeah.
But we still
might be getting more money in the next few days, like 200 million.
For who?
Or maybe 225 if you want to hold out. I think if you hold out, you get 225. What do you think?
Do you think it's going to go down?
Salah? Salah's not going anywhere.
At 225,
they put 150 down, and I heard that they're definitely down back to 175.
I think
maybe next year or at the winter break.
I think that offers there. Something. I think that offers there a year from now.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that.
I think so. I think so.
Now just
and
to make
everything
sure,
depends on what Liverpool does this season to keep Salah or not. You know, and you guys will cash in either at the winter window or next summer.
Chris, if
we get right now,
and then we get Jared Bowen to replace him.
Chris, if Liverpool are taking 150,
I don't think West Ham is going to let go.
Would you be right about that?
What was that, Stan?
When the bid came in for 150, if Liverpool said, "Yeah, we'll take that," would you be cool with that, or would you be like, "What?"
If it came in right now, it'd have to be 200 for me. If they came in early June with 150, I would take it. But now,
see, that's where I'm getting at. It's just too late.
It's got to be just a silly offer. I think
175. Would you take? No, that's what they're coming back.
200, 225.
It's weird that they're offering that much, and they didn't think.
Stan is spending the Saudis' money here. He's like, you take this?
These are the times that we're living in, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think? I mean, Mbappe is going to go on a free next summer, but I wonder what it would take to pry him away if he had a 3-year contract. It's got to be 300 now.
Didn't they offer 400?
Did they?
He's going to Miami.
No, Saudi team offered 300, didn't they?
I thought they offered 400.
Okay.
And not only that, but it was something like
oh no, the Saudi
100 mil a year in salary.
Oh no, the Saudis offered that. I was wondering what a European team could be able.
I have no idea. I have no idea. In a couple of years, it won't matter.
Right.
You know, the Saudis are just gonna like, oh, that's what it takes. Because at the beginning of the transfer window, you know, you saw like all these older players go, and then
they started getting younger.
You started seeing the younger players go, and you're like,
Demarai Gray?
Wow,
didn't Demarai Gray
wanted to. I think so. Yeah, Demarai Gray, Gabri from Vigo,
Gabi Vega.
Yeah, these are players. It's like, oh my God, no. We want to see them on this stage. I don't want to get up at 3:00 in the morning to watch Saudi football, to watch these players, because it's going to be very competitive. You know.
Talk about happiness of window. What's the Arsenal hat like? How do you feel about the window?
Listen, I gotta say, we can complain about who we didn't get and how much money we spent and blah 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 blah. But for the first window in if I can remember, I was so happy to have big major signings done a month ago. A month ago, Declan Rice had 3 matches in before he played his first Premier League match. He had a trophy under his belt. Timber for what
it's
worth.
A trophy, Mark. It's a trophy.
It's a trophy, Mark. Where's yours?
It's a trophy.
It was the Charity Shield because that's what that victory was. It was a fucking charity.
Right.
Where's yours?
It's a posh plate.
I'm not bragging about a trophy.
Mark,
they all
have
count
a
it.
trophy
They all
ceremony afterwards. They get to pose with it. That feeling, fake or not, that feeling for a player to stand on the pitch with confetti and hold things up and have a medal and take photos and celebrate, that feeling is worth the trophy. Doesn't matter to me as a fan. What it does to the players is gets them used to that and going, I want more of that. I want the real one now.
They get the taste.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, that's like winning the Hall of Fame bowl, you know?
Good. Did Wolves win it? Did Liverpool win it?
No. But answer me this. It's like it was arbitrary that you guys even made the fucking game.
It's not arbitrary.
It's the way it works.
No. To be honest, no. Answer me this. The Community Shield, in this particular case, the Charity Shield, who plays it?
The winner of the FA Cup and the winner of the
Who
league.
won the FA Cup?
City.
Mark, you want to watch 2
versus-
hours of
Rules,
City playing
but
with
then the rules you
ourselves?
go to
But there's
second
rules
place.
to this thing.
Versus
There's
who else? So
you
is
follow
the
rules
FA
to
Cup
all that, Mark?
No.
The rules
No. There are
FA
rules.
Cup winner versus who?
The Premier League.
Unless there's
Who won the Premier
one
League?
team wins
City.
both,
It was City.
and somebody else gets to
so
go.
City won. Okay,
City.
so let me ask you
It isn't
this.
just that is.
And
it
then
isn't
Gary,
just, it isn't-
Gary,
It isn't
Gary,
just those two.
Lolo, let me finish because I got a small point here, and you're not going to like it. So it then went to the second place team of the Premier League, correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Could it have easily been gone to the FA Cup runner-up? It
That's
could
not the
have.
rule. It's not how it
No,
works.
it couldn't because
Oh
that's
my
not the
God.
fucking rule.
And that's
It's
where
the
it's
fucking rule.
arbitrary.
It's not arbitrary.
That's
They made
where
a
it's
rule.
arbitrary.
They said here it is
could
on
have
plain piece
easily
of
been
paper.
United
How can it
versus
be
City.
arbitrary? Arbitrary
It could
means
have
it's
easily
up
been
for
that way.
analysis. There's nothing to analyze there.
Instead,
It's-
you didn't win nothing.
Mark, can
No,
you
you won
walk
the
through
Charity
security?
Shield.
Can you walk through security at the airport with your shoes on, or did they arbitrarily say
It dep-
it was
it
down to gloves or
depends.
shoes, and
It
we decided
depends
shoes.
because guess what? When you and I went to England for the North London Derby, we didn't have to take off our shoes in JFK. We had to take
because
off our
we were
shoes in
place in the league,
Heathrow.
Mark. That's why.
Again, arbitrary. It could have easily been United
You don't even know
Mark,
what that
then-
in the
word
then-
means.
FA
then
Cup
we can say-
runner-up. It's
We
like,
could say the
which-
Champions League is
which-
arbitrary. Champions
which-
League is arbitrary. They
which
decided 4
runner-up
teams.
do
Why
we
didn't
want?
they decide
Do we want
6 teams?
this
It's
runner-up or
arbitrary.
do we want this runner-up? Either way, you were still the runner-up, and it's arbitrary.
Okay, let me
because
ask
it's
you
like they
this.
Literally
Let me ask
pick
you
one.
this, Mark, what is a better end to the season? Being runner-up for the FA Cup or being runner-up for the league?
Well, the way you guys lost the league.
No.
Answer the
I'm
question.
asking
Don't
you a
start
straight-up
giving me this
question.
extra nonsense. Come on. Yeah, exactly. You know the answer. That's all right. Let's move on.
I didn't know you were cheering for United to get into the fucking.
I'm not cheering.
Charity
I'm not
Shield.
cheering for. No, it's
And you know what? You got to win
he
it.
called it the Charity Shield. Awesome.
You know, I guess the one thing
Yeah.
I'm disappointed
no,
for
look,
in the window is that
the
when
window's
Timber- when
closed,
Tim- when
Gary. Didn't
Timber-
you see the
we were
start
just
of
at-
our
we were-
show?
we would just
It's
analyze. Chris
shut.
asked the question. Can I answer it? That's all I'm doing.
No.
Please.
When Timber went down, I thought they would do what they've done
It's
always.
going
When
down.
something bad happens in the window, they go and their plan B usually works out. If you look at the last couple of windows, when they don't
Yeah.
get their first target, the second one comes in. And you're like, oh, that's probably even better. I was hoping they would do the exact same thing again, because Timber being out for most of the season is almost like missing out on him. So
Do
we're
you
gonna wait.
honestly think Timber comes back?
I hope not. I hope he doesn't have to.
I don't think he does. I think that knee injury is pretty serious.
Next season,
we won't need
my question being is whether or not how that knee of Jesus holds up.
That surgery
he's got a problem.
No, that surgery is normal surgery. I had the same surgery. Scar tissue buildup is just common in an ACL surgery recovery situation. Yes, it is in that soon. Yes, it is actually.
Yes, it is.
My wife has had knee surgery. I've had
cleanup job.
I know what
and
Mark
about. And Mark, you went back out on the pitch. You went back out on the pitch when you were done with knee surgery. No, you didn't. You fuck. So you didn't get fucking scar tissue. You lazy fuck. No.
I did get scar tissue. I got scar tissue 3
Mark,
years later. But I'm just saying.
He was back, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that surgery? He was back training because all it was a cleanup. It wasn't fucking knee surgery. It was surgery on the knee to clean some shit up, but it wasn't reattaching shit and all that. No.
Here's my question.
Fair enough.
How are you feeling about the Havertz transfer?
Are we going to let Mark answer this, or are we?
Let's go to something else. It's probably arbitrary. It's arbitrary.
Very arbitrary.
We could have easily signed fucking Lukaku.
I would have taken Lukaku over.
Not for $65 million. Or whatever overprice you paid for 15. Kyle Havertz.
How long do you think? How many games does he have? How many games will Arteta keep throwing him out there until it works?
135
for an entire season. So there you go. Anywhere from 0 to a whole season.
He hasn't got that luxury that Pochettino. He hasn't got the luxury that Pochettino has, right? If Pochettino doesn't want to play Mudryk, and the owner says, "You ain't playing Mudryk. I paid $88 million for that guy." You can say, "Yeah, but I never asked you to buy him." But it was Mikel Arteta that asked him to buy Havertz, sanction the transfer fee, and then the salary as well, and a 5-year contract. If he doesn't play him, surely the owners are going to be looking down from the director's box and going, "I thought we gave that guy a load of money for this guy. He's not even playing him." He has to make it work. Worst case scenario, though, if it doesn't work, where's he going to go? Who's going to take him? You've got him for 5 years and 280 grand a week. No one's taking him.
I mean, do you loan him out in the winter window?
No.
We can't afford to do that.
I don't know.
Relax.
Oh, no, there's no way you could do that and get away with it.
Relax.
You have to make it work.
Arteta played him in the first 3 matches this season and all throughout the preseason because he knows it's a round peg in a square hole or whatever, that it's gonna take time.
His best position would probably be Odegaard's, but
so those first 3 matches we could afford to tinker and play. This weekend is where we are gonna see what the fuck Arteta is up to. Because I swear to God, if Partey is at right back and Kai Havertz, if we put out the same exact team, the Arsenal community is going to flip their shit unless Havertz gets a hat trick.
No Gabriel Megalegs as well. Isn't it? Gabriel Megalegs has to play, surely.
Megalegs needs to be back there.
What I'm thinking is those 3 games back to the old lineup. Go back to that old lineup where you've got you're removing Partey from the back wing with left or right. I don't even know what he plays. Get Gabriel back in there.
Right? I listened to an interview with him today, and he was categorically asked, "Are you going to go? People have talked about some of the way that you've been playing, and that. Are you going to go back to the back four?" He said, "No." He literally said no.
Yeah.
He goes, "Sometimes I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to the training ground.
Yeah,
I don't always drive the same way. There might be ice, I go a different way. There might be a traffic thing, or I might need petrol. I have to go a different way." He goes, and it's no different with football.
Yeah.
You know what? The only way he's going to change
that is the talk of a genius.
Yeah. The only way he's going to change is based on what we've seen in the past. He will be forced to do it because he will create a situation where a player will get an injury, and he'll be forced to do it. That's the only way he's going to change.
But hasn't he already been there with Timber?
Yeah, but all he did was just put another left back, and then we lost. Then we lost Tomiyasu. We just put another left back, so he didn't change anything. He just put another left back in. Now when Zinchenko comes back, guess what? All he has to do is put in another left back. So so far he's changed nothing, and except for I think Nketiah came out one time, right? Otherwise, not too many changes. It wouldn't even
surprise me if David Raya started on Sunday, because he does that shit. David Raya could start on Sunday, and it would not surprise me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like that move at all.
Here's the thing.
Surprise me.
I would be fine with playing Kai Havertz, like forcing him in, if we weren't fucking up with the back, with where we were so solid. And maybe the problem is the Cronkies are our owners and not Todd Bowley, because then we could play the 4-4-2-2 or the 4-4-2-1, where if we play Todd Bowley ball, we'd be good. You know, you got Raya and Ramsdale. Just get them out of there. We don't need them. We'll play 4 at the back, 4 across the front, 2, 1 up top. We'll be good. All 11
Take
up there.
one out of midfield. Are you allowed to do that? Take
we
one
don't
out of
need
midfield
a
and
keeper.
have 2 goalkeepers. 2 goalkeepers.
You
Take one out of midfield.
Only one of them gets to use their hands, though. That's the rule. No.
But
guys,
one use their left hand and one gets to use their right hand, but they can't use both hands. Does it work?
Yeah,
there you go. It all depends on the glove.
Like
Whoever
Siamese
has
twins.
which glove.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, it's
I
about that
also-
time for us to take a halftime break. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's in the chat. We're reading all of these. Pincushion, Jimmy Bremmer's Ghost, Charlie, Charles, Charlie, Kevin Jessup, all you guys, Scooby D2, everybody who's in the chat. We love you guys, and I know you guys are talking a lot of Leeds United stuff, and Ben and Tom just don't happen to be here today. So you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to drop the StreamYard link in there. If any of you Leeds United fans wants to join us for the second half of the show, we will be back in just about 5 minutes. We're going to take an old man bio break. And we are going to watch a little video of Mark and I's team of the week. We'll be back in about 5 minutes with the betting in the dark from Mr. Tom. Gary will be presenting that because he was requested by Mr. Tom himself.
Oh boy.
So if any of you Leeds United fans want to pop in and give your take on Leeds United, talk about whatever you want, there's the link right there. Click it on there. John will make sure you get on there. But for now, it is halftime. We are going to take a quick break. So I'm going to start removing some of these people here. And eventually,
if they want to come on, I'll send them my Patreon link that they can.
There
send
you
me a
go.
little
That's
bit of
even
money.
perfect. But there you go, guys. We love a good Leeds United chat. We just unfortunately aren't following as closely as we were in years past. So there you go. On the Stoop is the closest most of us get to the PL. There you go, Jimmy. All right, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to go have a little bio break. Enjoy.
Saw was absolutely phenomenal, stopping everything that came his way. At one point, there was a triple save where it was like bat, kick, bat, and it was just. I've been waiting for that sort of game from him, and he brought it when we really needed it because Everton brought their shooting boots. They're always tough to beat at Goodison Park, and if it was not for Saw, Wolves would have not picked up 3 points. So my keeper of the week, where's the old gold?
No debate here, but Matty Cash. I mean, I don't know how I'm putting him as a defender. Good. Maybe I should put him as like a, I don't know, he was playing wing because he scored 2 goals. He scored a goal in the 8th minute of that match and then scored fairly quickly after that, didn't he?
I want to say he had 2 goals in like 20 minutes.
In the 20th
and I swear to God, I was like, I have Haaland for a hat trick. Where did I go wrong? And this is a guy, Destiny Udogie. Or Doggy, whatever his name is. I have no idea.
Doggy.
You Doggy is he came. He's new to Spurs, but he came over. He's been playing absolutely phenomenal. He's running up and down. He's definitely responsible for the clean sheet against Bournemouth, and I do believe he had an assist. That's really all I can ask for a defensive back, and he is my star of the week.
Kyle Walker. I'm going with Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
I got to say, City hasn't been at their best for most of the match. And all of a sudden, Nottingham Forest puts up a goal and levels the match. And as an Arsenal fan, I'm going like, perfect. This is working out perfect. Kyle Walker makes a mistake. And it looks like, here we go. Either Sheffield United is going to get the win here, or it's going to end in a draw. And what happens? He runs his ass off and shows that Kyle Walker pace. Everyone thinks the ball's going out of bounds. It doesn't go out of bounds. Crosses it in. Ding, dang, dong. Rodri to bring it home. And so Kyle Walker's effort, and I felt like he was their best player for much of that match. He was the one running his ass off. He looks like a man reborn this season, and that's scary for me.
All right. I'm going with Joaquin Anderson for Crystal Palace. That boy plays defense, and he won. I don't know how many challenges it was, but he won every single one. He was not going to be denied that day. And not only that, but he got himself a cheeky goal. And so when you hold your own and win everything that there is to win in your position and you score a goal, you get in my top 11. So I'm going with Anderson from Crystal Palace.
But I'm going with Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon, when he was on the pitch, oh my God. Anthony Gordon was like, I'm going to be a billboard today that just says, here's why Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a defender. Because he wasn't. He was like, you want him to play midfield? There he is playing midfield because he's not defending. He's not defending me. And Anthony Gordon was up and down the pitch. Crazy. So Anthony Gordon, keep doing what you're doing until you play Arsenal, and then please have a bad game. But yeah.
But I'm going to talk about Bruno, and in one play in particular where he is he's taking the corner and he sends it in, and the defense of Nottingham Forest kind of all shifts toward the left-hand side of the box. And there is wide open space, and he runs into there, and no sooner does he get the cross, heads it right in, and I'm not sure who scored the goal, but the assist off the head, right, and just a pinpoint laser was just an example of the type of work that Bruno was doing, and I got to give him credit. I got to put him on this list.
Fabio Vieira. Arsenal looked clueless for a while and looked like they had no idea how they were going to break down Fulham, how they were going to get anything done. And we were losing to Fulham. And Fabio Vieira came in, and I was angry when that sub came. And I was like, no, anybody but him. But the dude played his ass off and almost had a bicycle kick over the head, flip kick. Winner. It just got saved. It was on target and everything. It was beautiful.
Raheem Sterling.
Old T-Rex himself, man.
And an assist. I know it's against Luton Town. I know it's against the bottom of the barrel. If Sterling plays like that for a majority of the season, I think we're going to see Chelsea move up that ladder.
Yeah, you could tell there was a fire lit under his ass. Because I'm going with Mr. Can't hit the broadside of a barn. Comes on off the bench and scores 2 goals to win it with 10 men. Mr. Darwin Nunez.
Wow. No one saw that. No one saw that. And message sent, and hopefully message received, because that boy needs to start. I went with Jared Bowen on this, and I think it could have gone in any direction. There was any number of West Ham folks to pick on this one. But Jared Bowen was fantastic. He had a lovely goal. He had an assist, and he played with that determination that unfortunately we only sometimes get glimpses of. And that's the Jared Bowen that I want to start seeing more often. And I think we'll see more often now that there's a little bit of slack to pick up with the absence of Declan Rice.
Okay, well that's our team of the week. Mark, thank you very much. In goal. All right.
I did like the T-Rex reference, by the way. That made me chuckle.
Old T-Rex.
He runs like my missus in her high heels and her handbag trying to catch a bus.
I only take issue with Anthony Gordon being on your team of the week because he's a douchebag. But he had a good week. But he's a douchebag.
Yeah. If he would have stayed on the pitch, you guys would have not won.
He kind of owned Trent.
Yeah, he did.
As I'm concerned. And for the price tag and all the shit that he got, he's not worth that much. He's doing a Almiron, I guess maybe. Remember when Grealish shat all over Almiron? He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll show you." So maybe that's what Gordon's doing.
Yeah,
I did like seeing.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
there you go. I had to show a little love. Mark was fighting me to get Gibbs White in there instead of Vieira, but I was like, "Look, Vieira changed the game for us. He changed the game for us."
No, absolutely.
I think Vieira should get the start over Havertz.
I mean, for me, the heart of Morgan Gibbs White, just like being up 2-0 at Old Trafford, going down 3-0, going down a man, and there was so much fight in him. And the way that he just kind of was like getting his team into it, I really felt that he needed some recognition.
All right. Well,
I like the newness.
Gary.
Yes, sir.
Gary, are you ready to do betting in the dark?
I guess I am. I don't have to be.
All right, man.
Here we go.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
So, yes, Mr. Tom is pissing me off edition. So there you go. We'll see what he does. Is that rain? I don't know.
Oh, there you are.
Now, Stan's eating a bag of chips in memory of Mr. Tom.
Good one. Onions.
All right.
Careful, those will break your teeth.
All right. First game we got up here is Sheffield United welcomes Everton to the show. Got a draw. Got Cyril there checking out the game. Gustavo Hammer to score first. I think that's how you say it. The Hammer. Beto to score. That's a serious odds. 1 to 200, I guess, right? Almost.
Well, he's picking it exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That just seems like a good one to bet just because why not? I don't know who this Hammer guy, I don't know who any of these players are.
That's a good pickup at striker. Well, he's like a good Portuguese player. He's double-digit scorer in Italy.
Okay.
I mean, Everton still needs to get the ball to him, so that's the issue.
That's the trick.
That's the challenge.
So there you go, people. That's the first one. I don't know anything about those.
It's like an early important game for the relegation battle because I think they're both in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so next up, what do we have here? Brighton welcomes Newcastle. Final score, and once again, another 2-2 game. I think a lot of people have 2-2 scores this week for most of these games. They don't want to take a chance. But yeah, will Newcastle? You think Newcastle is going to respond?
Newcastle needs the win, right?
Yeah, I think that they were going to. I think they would come out more likely to try to get a win here after. They've had it tough, right?
I think
they've had it tough
this
season, haven't they?
Kind of had it rough. I mean, Newcastle, they lose the heartbreaker to Liverpool, and then they lost to City.
Right? Yeah.
They only have one win so far.
Yeah.
I actually see this as like two teams that just kind of just sit back and it's like, you know what, we'll take the point. So I almost agree with the 2-2. I don't think it'll be that high scoring, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was 0-0.
You think Ansu Fati gets on the field for Brighton?
No.
Yeah, but he won't be in the lineup. He just finished his medical at like 4 o'clock our time.
Yeah. No,
he'll come on at like 56 minutes, and he'll probably go off at 58 minutes injured.
That's why he probably won't play. There's too much of a risk of that exactly happening. So, he's not going to play.
He'll get an assist in the 57th minute.
Oh, there you go. He'll put his money.
And injure himself while doing it.
He'll be jumping in the air and he'll land wrong. There you go.
While celebrating, yeah.
So yeah.
All right, Gary. Let's do the third one.
That one I think is suspect there. But next,
this is the one.
This is the
that
one
Mr. Tom wanted you to say.
Yes, the Arsenal wins 3-2. Tough. I think that's going to be if that's the scoreline. I'm hoping it's because we're up 3-1 or something like that before they even think to Rashford scores first. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Not the way we've been playing. But yeah, Rashford scoring first and we win 3-2. I'll take it. But from what I've seen in the team this season, that will be a change. For example, based on how we've been playing, we've typically given up the goals after they've been scored. So that would be nice to see. And that also depends on who starts. Who is Havertz starting?
Hoyland's healthy to play this game yet or not? Kind of want to see his debut at some point.
Yeah, Hoyland and Jesus could start. I think Zinchenko might. I don't know if he's still also a questionable starter. So that's where Arsenal could go back to their regular starting lineup if Gabriel Margalés is allowed to play.
Is the window closed now?
The window over here is closed. In England, it's closed.
You missed the intro video.
Yeah. There's a couple countries that are still like
Saudi is still available.
Saudi Arabia has another week, I think.
And then I think you can still do loans within England to like lower divisions for the month or something.
Come on, Chris. Did you?
Yo, Mark, I'll be right out. He can't hear me. The window's closed.
The window's closed. The window's closed, Chris.
No. I just want to point out on a little tale on betting in the dark. Iwoniyi is 1,000 to 1 to score first against Chelsea.
Taiwo
Iwoniyi.
And Mark, what would
I fucking love that dude?
What's the stat that you gave? Mark, the stat that you gave last week, you said his average time on the pitch.
From the minute he hits the pitch, he scores on average over like 7 matches. He scores in like the first 7 minutes.
It's too bad you can't sub him out and sub him back in multiple times.
Dude,
they'll get there, Chris.
Fast becoming my favorite player. I fucking love watching him play. He's just
And I'm sorry for fucking Tottenham to go after Brennan Johnson like that when really the player they need is Taiwo. They need that type of player. Brennan Johnson, he's a good pickup for Tottenham, but he's not slotting straight in. Like they have a lot of playmakers. They actually do have a lot of playmakers. Get a beast up front and they could be deadly. And I don't think that's Brennan Johnson.
No, definitely not. But I think that he gives them a little bit of depth. I like the moves that Tottenham have made this summer window.
All right, that's enough.
I got to give a little.
What in the world is going on here?
I got to give a little kick to Man United too, man. I feel those.
God, what are you doing? Stop!
My favorite Tottenham move.
What? Look at it on paper. Look at it on paper.
No, I'm not looking at it on it. I look at it. Yeah, exactly. There.
No, I'll protest.
Great red man.
You're getting a red card. You can get double all the time. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You went into
both those teams made really good acquisitions.
Definitely went with 2 feet.
Just like I kind of like what Leeds did at the last.
Mark.
Yes, sir.
That red card was for them arguing against you.
John, I thought we were buddies. What happened?
I'm really glad that the PGMOL has apologized and has proven my point. So the red card has been
what is going on
reversed.
in that far room?
I kind of like Spurs now. I love Ange.
They play quality football and
oh my god,
he's a great
guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. That's it for our show.
What? Are you serious? Stop.
Ange is so good. He switched 9 of the team around,
and then add Manchester
they probably could have won.
So who won the transfer window for you, Lolo?
Who won the transfer window?
Yeah, who won the transfer window? I think Tottenham and
West
United
Ham is a
did
good
very
shout.
very well. Who did very well?
Brighton is a good shout as well.
City.
City.
We don't want to give them any credit
City
either.
Spent money.
City's done very well.
City spent money for sure.
I don't know who won the window, and yes, Tottenham has done all right. I was speaking to my buddy who lives on the block here, who some of y'all might know, Tim. Big shout out to Tim if you're watching this, who said he was ready to give up on Tottenham. He was like, "Okay, I'm done. I can't support Tottenham anymore." And then they got rid of Harry Kane, and he said he had an immediate sense of, "Okay." And he's happily back following them as much as he loved Harry Kane. So it's another example of these major talisman type players that you kind of got to get rid of and start over. And
I don't agree with this narrative. I feel like under Ange, they do extremely well with Harry Kane still. Like, I don't think it's like they needed to let him go to flourish. I think with the way that they're moving the ball, it's not like Harry Kane is Andy Carroll and he's just like standing in the middle of the box and that's it. I think he would have flourished under that new system.
But the problem is,
from his side of it, he's like, well, how many times can I say next year will be the one? Next year will be the one.
No, I know, I get that.
No. What you need to do is, Chris,
going to Munich is the right move.
In your head right now, think, how on earth would Harry Kane be able to pronounce Ange Postecoglou? Like, he can't do it. So he's not going to do it. He's going to spit on him.
He'd be knee-deep in phlegm.
He goes over to Germany and everyone's like, oh, good, he speaks German. And then they realize, oh, no, that's his English. Fuck Tottenham. Anyway, moving on.
What will also help Tottenham, I think,
I'm going with West Ham.
Can I just say as well, with Harry Kane leaving Tottenham, I think another way how it might help him is not being so reliant on one person and spreading the goals around. A bit like we do. Not being so reliant on everything coming through one funnel.
Yeah.
Because I think Son's going to have to adjust his game now as well.
He has to.
He's going to have to do something.
Have to adjust his game, right?
You know.
Yeah.
I think Aston Villa, Moussa Diaby, Pau Torres, Yuri Tielemans. That's a good window.
Yeah, not bad.
And Tielemans was on a free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
They got Zaniolo on loan. That's a good. I didn't realize that. That's a pretty good window.
I know you guys talked about it, but I think, like you said, West Ham basically took the Rice money, and it looks like they did good things with it. So all the teams don't usually take the big money, big payouts that they get for their players, and actually look like they do something good with it. They actually did.
I actually think that's becoming the new norm. You know, I mean, Brighton made a shit ton of money, spent very well. West Ham did.
Are you Gary and Stan, are you telling me that Kudus would rather be in that part of London?
I think Arsenal didn't want to go from. I think that's the problem. Arsenal
like
didn't want to go.
That's where I'm saying Havertz. I'm willing to dive in on this experiment.
He's a much better Arsenal player than a West Ham
player. And he plays with Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
He's from Ghana. Like, they play together. Like, why run this project of Kai Havertz for $60 million when they got him for what, like 40?
Yep. Yep.
Something like
Yep.
that.
Come on.
Something like that. Was it a West Ham player?
I think he could have spent a little bit
Munich?
extra. He could have got him and Moses Diaby, right? And they would have been
He's
just a
such a
little bit more
versatile
than
player too.
So they could have got some decent players
Was
for
it-
just a little bit more than Havertz. So no, I think
In the
you know
World
what?
Cup, Kudus looked better than Partey.
Was it a West Ham player that went to Bayern Munich, had his medical, got shown around, but then they didn't sign the contract because they couldn't find a replacement at the home team? Was it a West Ham player?
I don't think
Sorry,
that was
João Paulinho.
It was
Paulinho. Fulham.
Yeah, they actually did like a media thing and like took photos and everything. It was very reminiscent of
I think it was
Anna James for Leeds and
or something like that.
Ajax last season as well,
I
wasn't it?
can't believe
Ajax
more
was
people
PSG.
aren't in for him. Everyone find a really good base of the midfield number 6, and he's right there at Fulham.
I just think he's dangerous in the middle there. He always is going to leave a foot in there or something. You know, at least it always seems that way. So he's risky.
I don't know.
Maybe he's playing better, but
Liverpool tomorrow. I mean,
well, you shall see. But yeah, no, like you said, I think a lot of teams did really well with the money they got. Anything that Brighton gets, everybody's suspect of. Like, wait a second, why did we? wait a second, what did we just do here? That's just crazy, giving them all that money, and I don't even think they spent it all, right? So.
If any club was fucking smart, they would say, "Hey, Brighton, how much do you want for Caicedo? You want 105? Cool. Here's 103." And then when they go, we're not sure. And then you see them saying, okay, we're going to sign this new guy that nobody's heard of. Then you go, never mind, 20 for him. And you take that fucking dude. And
skip
you're good.
The line.
Yeah, skip the line. Because right now, what is Brighton doing? Is Brighton going for top 4? Not a fucking chancey, little Nancy.
Yeah.
No.
What
they're doing is they're going for top 10.
Of course they are.
And they're going, how do we get a Stupinian up to 115 million? How do we get a Pascal Gross, Solly March, all these fucking players who have been there forever?
Mitoma.
And Matoma, like all of those are going to go over.
I gotta say, man,
and now
we really knows how to recruit.
We know, just like the league knows that Arsenal sells people for nothing, and we buy people for whatever you tell us. They're going to say, "Cool, you want Matoma? Sure, he's for sale, 120."
You guys did a really good job re-signing a bunch of your players. What's your wage bill at Arsenal?
Like
you guys re-signed everyone.
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys let Emile Smith Rowe go? He's clearly not going to play again under Arteta, I don't think.
Because
he will in Europe. He'll play in Europe.
He is. He's part of the long game. He is part of the long game.
I hope so.
And look, we gave him the number 10 shirt. You don't do that at Arsenal for nothing.
Which is cursed. Since William Gallas had it, it's never been the same.
Yeah.
It's burned that shirt. She burned it now. Every time
that's not cursed.
Now,
your captain badge is cursed.
Cursed Jack
Odegaard's doing absolutely fantastic with it.
No, he is totally. But your captains before then, I do have you on tape saying that the captain's badge was cursed at Arsenal.
What? Me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
No way.
Just going back to Brighton for a second, I think they've also taken a massive gamble because now they've smashed their wage structure. They brought in Ansu Fati, and I think he now gets paid 3 times more than the highest paid player at Brighton.
He's on loan. I don't know how much
he's on loan, and I thought Barcelona is paying his wages.
I think 160,000 a week, as I understand it.
I think Barcelona is covering the wages.
Okay.
I may have read that. I don't know. I mean, I've been reading so much.
I'd kill
over
for
the
a new
last
signing
4
to be
days.
on 160.
I don't know. Brighton's very flush in cash right now.
You know, the thing about the Brighton, that model is sometimes what you replenish, it stops working. Like Southampton was able to do that for 5 or 6 years. Every year, sell someone, and then, you get one or two of them wrong, and all of a sudden you're at the bottom half of the table or the bottom quarter of the table.
Right. What I think for me is like Brighton has always done a lot with a little over the last like 3 years. And then like the rest of the league pays attention and goes, oh, we'll give you the moon for that guy. You know, I mean, you guys mentioned them, Solly March, Matoma, Evan Ferguson will eventually go to a big club. And can you imagine what Evan Ferguson's going to get if they're getting $100 million, $110 million for Caicedo?
They already put $100 million price tag on him.
I'm sure. And then some.
And he's not worth it.
But I you know what?
Tottenham should have gone for him then.
Yeah, but they know if he, they know if
like
he puts
19,
away 12,
what is he, like 20?
They know if he puts away
21?
18.
Yeah, he's super young.
They know once he has 12 or 15 goals in a season, that price, instead of selling him for 50, they're going to sell him for 100. Like, who did Newcastle buy a defender like Lewis Hall or something off of Chelsea?
Yeah, from Chelsea.
Yes. I have no idea who he was. He went for 45 million.
He's been getting
That's
some
what I'm
playing
saying.
time for
Xhaka
Chelsea.
goes for 21.
He's been getting like 20, 30 minutes. He's okay.
Chelsea fans are really pissed off about that one. They're really pissed off that they sold him.
Yeah. Naji really liked him. There he is.
What is he? Fullback?
What's on my way, Naji?
I don't even know what his position is. Is he a fullback?
No, he plays like
Lewis Hall. Based on his name, I would say he's a busker at the one train in between.
I think you're thinking of Daryl Hall.
7th Avenue.
That's Daryl Hall.
Straight up. That comment kicked Stan out. Oh, geez.
I have no idea.
All right.
He's still there. I think he just lost his feed. Maybe he's got to plug the meter.
So let me ask you guys. We're down at we're at the final 30 minutes of the show here. So Mark, Chris, Gary, Wolves, Liverpool, Arsenal. Name me the one player. Let's not think about if it's possible or how it could happen, but let's just say your club picked up this player, it changes your trajectory. Trajectory? There's too many R's in that word. Trajectory.
You're changing your future.
Who is the one player your club could have picked up that would have made you like, fuck, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're killing it. Who's the one player? Let's hear it.
I'll start.
Right,
this is a player that Wolves were linked to very briefly. I don't know how true it was, but it definitely got my attention. And Wolves were linked to Iheanacho from Leicester. And I got a little excited about that. The guy plays with pace. He's got excellent footwork. He's a team player. For me, he ticked the boxes. And if we would have gotten him, I think I would feel a little bit better about our season ahead, because I ain't got much hope.
Can I answer for Arsenal, and then you answer?
Hold on. Let's continue on Mark's. Yeah. We'll get to. You can answer on whatever team you want. I just love that Mark refers to him as first name Ian, last name Nacho.
Iheanacho. His name is Iheanacho.
Ian the Nacho.
Would you
call him eating nachos?
Oh, should I say it? You say it. Eating nachos.
Eating nachos is how I say it. But no, I like nachos. You, Ian.
You know who I'm talking about.
Ian is a great player. Ian Nacho.
Ian Nacho.
Collective.
Ian Nacho.
No, what do you guys think about?
Yeah, there we go, Mark Lawrence.
John is fucking on it. MVP,
on
man
fire,
of the match.
On fire.
Jesus. What do you guys think about Iheanacho to Wolves?
I think that would be a good. Would he be your central striker, or would he be playing with another striker?
I think he would be playing striker. I think he would have been brought in as a striker because we
John's
don't
on
have
it.
one.
I always liked him.
Kuna, maybe. What's that?
I loved him when he was a good player at Man City. He was like one of the most he was one of those guys that play like about 10 minutes every other game and get a goal.
Played for Man City.
Like Origi. Sort of Origi
he's back, by the way.
Nottingham
OG,
Forest, right?
the Origi gangster.
Yeah, he went to Forest. Forest, like, do you guys like the signing for Forest, Hudson-Odoi?
Yeah.
I know that he's struggling to fit, but in the last two clubs, but I really like that. I think he could do well at Forest. I mean,
I guess
think a lot of the players
Brennan Johnson's role, right?
That's what I'm guessing, and that's like a 25 million plus because they got Odoi for a song, and they sold Johnson for like what 40.
Yeah, I like Odoi. Every time he played for Chelsea, I liked him when he played.
Tavares went to Luton Town.
He went to Luton.
Lakanga did.
Oh, Lakanga did.
Okay.
Oh. No, there's your loser of the transfer window.
No, he'll play.
I know he's only on loan, but
he'll play and he'll do very well. He'll do very well for
Luton. Is at Nottingham as well.
He's in for a rude awakening, man, when he gets to Luton's ground and the changing rooms and all that from Arsenal. Exactly. He's in for one rude awakening.
He's changing out on the street at the cab stand.
Yeah, and he's like, at Arsenal, I was eating nachos, and now I'm Ian Nacho over here. Okay, Chris, Liverpool, or do you want to talk for Arsenal?
How about we swap? I'll do Arsenal, you do Liverpool.
I'll do Liverpool. Okay, go for it.
Arsenal, Victor Osimhen.
Good shout.
Ooh, of course, yeah.
Good shout.
Fucking absolutely fantastic.
And if you had only taken your Havertz money plus whatever money you have left and combined that, and went for Victor Osimhen instead of Havertz, that would
he wouldn't have gone. He wouldn't have gone. He's a god right now in Napoli.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he's got to play one more season in Napoli. He has to play one more
Saudi money. He's going to make a bunch of money with the Saudis.
Napoli turned down 140, right, from Saudi Arabia. I understand.
Yeah.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid.
He needs to do one more season in Napoli for the heart, the ether of the world. He needs to do one more.
Not only that, but wasn't he hurt at the end of during Champions League?
Just because he wears a mask.
No. That would hurt him. Yeah,
it's an acne mask.
Okay. I thought he just wore it because he likes wearing it.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Like Rudiger. Rudiger's face was well healed, and he was.
No, if they let you wear a mask, you should be able to wear whatever mask you want. Like you should wear a clown mask if you want. Richarlison will look good in that.
A clown mask.
I was thinking more David Luiz.
A Ronald Reagan mask.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to leave in a little bit, so I'm gonna just get my.
Gary,
I like that play, Simican. I think he would, because that would have given us the depth on our back line that I think we need.
Who was that?
Simican from. From is it Ajax or wherever? I don't know where it is.
Mohamed Simican. Is that Leipzig?
Is it Leipzig? I think it's one of those teams. I don't remember, but I would have. That's who I think we needed just to solidify that back line. We got lots of numbers elsewhere. The back line for us is where we are a little thin, and if we have injuries or red cards or anything like that, it could be a struggle. So, and that was our issue last season. We didn't have the depth on the back line, so they didn't. Timber would have helped, but I still think we needed one more player even with him. So,
kind of sad about him.
Yes. Yeah,
was not obviously not that big of an Arsenal fan, but I did see the matches that were your friendlies, and I saw him play, and I paid attention because I didn't know who he was when you guys signed him, and I was like, you know what, this guy's gonna be good.
Yep.
And when he went down, I was like, "Fuck, that looks serious."
I always say when you reach him with your leg, you can get in trouble all the time, and that's exactly what he did.
Right. He shouldn't have gone back in.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Are you guys already at a point where you're so much further ahead than you expected that you actually want a center back better than Gabriel?
I don't think that's maybe what Arteta wants. I don't think any fans want that.
Eventually, yeah.
But not right now. But not right now. That's not where our holes are right now. I mean,
I think Gabriel needs to get back into that starting lineup.
It's going to be really hard to find another Saliba, right? Because everybody's looking at Saliba and going, "Oh, you need a center back." It's not that easy to find. Is there any player out there that you go, okay, that could be the next Saliba for 25 mil? Right? They don't exist anymore. They used to exist. They don't exist
France
anymore.
produces center backs like crazy. You just go look at France, and I think even the guy at Chelsea got like the Saucy. I think would have been a good pick.
The Saucy's good.
Saucy.
Well, listen, I'm going to say bye to you guys. I do have to leave.
Cheers, Gary.
All right, thank you for having me on. Everybody in the chat, have a good one. Hope you enjoy your football this weekend. Arsenal 3. That other team, I don't care as long as they lose.
I'll probably see you Sunday, Gary, then.
All right, cool.
Hey, Gary, where are you going to be on?
Tomorrow we're going to be on the road trip. Mr. Tom usually hangs out there, and Sam as well, so check us out tomorrow. We might be a little bit later in the evening, depending on how things go. Some things are up in the air, but otherwise, see us tomorrow after midday over here in the States, or 4 or 5 o'clock, I think it is, in the UK. Otherwise, Monday, 7:30 p.m. in America, or 12:30 a.m. for you guys in the UK. See you then. All right, thank you.
All right,
see you, Gary.
All right, see you.
See you later.
Okay, so who do we have left? Stan
the man.
The one that I think that we were linked as well quite a lot with this player, and I would have loved to have seen him come in, would have been Ferran Torres from Barcelona, because they were talking that it would have been about 25 million. I really like him. I thought he was really good at Man City.
He's having a good year this year.
I thought he'd be good cover for Saka and Martinelli, because he can play in both positions, and he can play for the middle as well.
Too.
Yeah. I quite like him.
I like him, but
I call him Effin Torres because you're always going Effin Torres.
Look, when he came on against us in the pre-season, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Remember?
Maybe he'll have a breakout season.
On the inside, scored.
He is having a good season.
Like
right now.
He's already having a good season.
For 25 million, I'd rather go with that than pay 65 for a Havertz, right?
Yeah.
That kind of a gamble,
right?
You know.
Yeah. If we're comparing the Havertz, then.
But can we just say something about Havertz, because I know that there a lot of the Arsenal support are like, underwhelmed. But when you actually look at the stats of it, he's doing things like covering the most ground of anybody in the team. Yet you see people saying, "Oh, he's so languid and doesn't really, track back." And he's winning his duels and his pass completions. But there's something. I mean, the stats look really good in his favour, but I don't know what it is with the eye test. To me, it looks like he bottlenecks the team a little bit. If that's the right expression for me. He hit a bottleneck.
To me, there's too many people up front. There's too many people up front where there's a lot of wandering around, where you're losing space because there's an extra player up front. So I'm not 100% against Havertz. I think he didn't have the best match, the last match. Oh, Jesus. Where did you find that? Oof. But, yeah.
That wasn't languid movement.
Yeah, that wasn't languid. All right, so I've got an Arsenal and I've got a Liverpool. Which one should I do first?
Do your Liverpool, so maybe I can respond to it.
Yeah.
All right, straight up. With all the signings you've had right now, if you sign this player, you could probably go and win the league. Later, Jimmy. Very good to see you. Thank you so much for being here on the show, Jimmy. I think if you guys could have signed Achraf Hakimi.
He's not defensive either, though.
But him and Trent.
No, he's a
right back. He's a right back. You have Hakimi and Trent Alexander-Arnold in front of him.
So we have two right backs who can't
in the midfield.
You now have a solid defender. That's
No.
why I'm choosing for you guys. Would you say no to him?
No, I would take him and then throw Trent in the midfield, but I still think we'd have to almost go to a back three if we did that.
Or back five?
I would have got Gvardiol if I could have gotten anyone
to go in. Oh yeah, you need to
become a back three.
Yeah, he's
You need a
gonna
more
be
solid
so
center back.
key for City.
Okay. And then for Arsenal, Theo Hernandez.
Who's your
solves
left
our left back issue?
AC Milan.
Solves our left back issue. Loves going forward, loves flying forward, loves being part of the attack, but is also a solid defender.
But can he invert? That's what Mikel wants.
He inverts. Yeah, he already inverts. Yeah.
Boy's fast.
To me, yeah, he's just untouchable. He's pretty much untouchable with Milan.
All right.
So.
He's like the left side of Hakimi.
So
yeah, exactly. That's why I was going. Like, we need those two.
So I got a question.
Look around Real Madrid.
I got a question. Do we have losers of the transfer window? Who are the losers?
Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Sheffield
They sign
United.
anyone.
They sold their two best players and haven't signed much of anybody. I mean, I guess of the big teams.
No. He's like, I don't know. Everyone had a good window.
I think
they all
Sheffield
spent
United,
money.
I think Sheffield United and Wolves had the worst windows.
We had a terrible window. We already talked about that in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Stan, who you got?
Yeah, probably exactly what Chris said. Sheffield hasn't really, they've sold two of their best players, which I didn't know. I mean, and they've not signed anybody. And there's a recipe to go back down in, isn't it?
Yeah. And they have more money than like Luton does.
They've got money. They definitely have money. They're just not.
But Luton managed to do some business, though. Some loans here and there. They've done something. They tried to make themselves a bit stronger.
How was the Crystal Palace window, right? Because they lost Wolf Zaha.
But they got Rob Holding, so there you go.
I'm gonna look at theirs because
they've got Rob Holding for $4 million.
They got
they got Rob Holding's hair for $4 million.
So glad that wasn't a loan.
I'll tell you who I think is the loser of the transfer window, and that's Harry Maguire. He's not going to play for United anytime soon, and
he'll be
not fucking.
He'll be the fucking vice captain of England in the World Cup or in the Euros.
We're not talking about that, but we're talking about.
And Ben White not on the team.
I forgot you guys had
Ben White's bothered. I think Ben White prefers to go on holiday.
Yeah, no, Ben
White.
Is,
for Ben White, right? Going on international duty is like when your company sends you away to a convention.
Palace got Dean Henderson
on a Saturday,
well.
and you're like, a Saturday.
Is this a Nottingham Forest fan?
Ben White's.
NFFC, Nottingham Forest Football
Nottingham Forest
Club?
Football Club.
Probably, I guess.
It's Mr. Tom's cousin.
Get on the show,
Johnny Evans
Tom.
went back to Man United as well, didn't he? Johnny Evans went back to Man United.
Johnny Evans, I think that was a pretty good pickup for depth.
Yeah, I think.
And they got him for super cheap. It was like $3 million or something.
Good to see you, Tom. I think you guys are right with Sheffield United because I feel like they're coming into this promotion into the Premier League going, we did fine last time we came up. So they're not doing anything right now, as opposed to like Nottingham Forest last year signing 28 players. Then half of them leave and go back to their home clubs, and they're still signing people like crazy. They are so desperate to stay up. Sheffield United, I feel, are kind of like, we're fine. We're going to stay up. When really you can't go about the Premier League that way. You got to make changes.
I'll tell you a team what about Fulham lost Mitrovic, and now
they got Baby Oil.
Who'd they get? Jimenez?
Baby Oil.
They got Baby Oil. They got Jimenez. They got somebody else too.
They got Jimenez, who actually looked good against Arsenal.
They got some good. Okay. I wonder who's going to knock in the goals for them now.
Well, they also picked up Iwobi. Believe it or not.
That's right.
That's a good.
How much was that for? How much was that for?
Fulham will be fine.
Under 18.
Fulham will be fine.
Okay. So that's less than
Fulham
what we
will
sold
be
him
fine.
for.
Anyone
We
who
sold him for
if you can
40.
get off of if you can go from Everton to Fulham, that's a good thing for your career at this time.
Yeah. Arsenal to Everton to
Well,
Fulham.
you're staying in the Premier League.
We sold him. We didn't sell him for 40, Stan.
It was funny because with Arsenal,
it was like a high. Yeah, it was like a highest transfer. It was like 35 and it was about 40. Yeah, yep.
No,
for who?
with that on.
Yeah.
For who?
Stuff.
Well, it's funny because at Arsenal he was kind of like a
Seriously.
tricky winger type, and then he became more of like a central midfielder at Everton. Kind of like his whole position is completely different than what he did at Arsenal.
I don't know. I always see him running up the left or the left-hand wing.
We would sign, 35 million. Yeah, one of our biggest sales, actually.
Not bad, huh? We need to get that guy back who was doing that deal. Who was that guy? Where's he gone?
He went to Everton. So. Oh, come on, Scooby.
They got Baby Oil. I love that.
Did you see the Fulham announcement tweet for Adama Traore?
No.
All they tweeted a photo. It was just a photo of like theater seats. And on one of the seats in the middle, there was a bottle of Johnson's baby oil. There were no words in the tweet. There were nothing. Just a photo, bunch of seats, Johnson's baby oil. From Fulham Football Club. It was there. That's their tweet.
It's probably because Traore couldn't find where the photo shoot was. So they're like, this dude's late. Let's just put the bottle there.
I'm Fulham. All I do is train him I would just train him on finishing for 24 months in a row.
He just doesn't know his own strength.
If he had finishing ability, could you imagine just being a counter-attacking team with him in the middle? It would
we wouldn't have let him go for free if that was the case.
I always go back to that
wouldn't
one
have left Barcelona.
That one game against City where he had those two goals.
But I have to say, this is their tweet. Sorry, John. You take control. This is their tweet.
That's kind of perfect.
That was their tweet.
What's all that about?
And I started reading in all the comments and everything, and it was like, we got him, we signed him.
What is the significance then between Baby Oil and Traore?
You don't know.
I'm missing. No,
so
I don't
he
know.
covers his body with baby oil,
so
that he can't be grabbed.
The matches, yeah.
Like when you grease a pig and the boxer's got to catch it and keeps popping out.
Exactly. Exactly. And he wears his tight.
He's one fast pig.
He wears like a child's medium. And so it's here. So you can't grab his. If you try to stop him and yellow card, nothing.
I still think someone in the NFL should turn him into a kick returner. I think it would be incredible.
Absolutely.
No, he's a halfback.
Yeah,
he's a halfback. He'll just
he's
fucking
so powerful and fast, but he's finishing, man.
So big, but he's just I just don't see him as having a game IQ. He's big, he's fast, but he doesn't know his own strength. Most of his crosses go way beyond,
I think it's just too hard to slow yourself back down to not. It's kind of like he's like Superman acting as Clark Kent. Like when Superman is acting as Clark Kent, he has to force himself to be slow and not accidentally break everything.
Yeah, Traore doesn't know how to do that.
But see, when Traore went to Barcelona, I thought that was a perfect move because if you play Barcelona ball, it's flood one side, everyone goes to one side. Traore hangs out on the other side.
He's also from that academy.
Where's that? Where?
Barcelona. Sorry about that. I forgot. It's Barcelona.
You know, and here's the thing too about that. When Traore went to Barcelona, he started like the first 3 or 4 games and scored like 3 goals. Had an assist in there too, and then all of a sudden just disappeared. Why?
Because they didn't. Traore's game.
They were afraid to unleash the power.
No, they started shifting more to a centralized attack, and they were moving away from the traditional where they flood one side, cross the ball over to the other side where you have a one-on-one. So Traore, anytime he started, he's literally half the match. He's just standing there in acres of space, but they won't cross the ball over to him. I don't know. And then, if you're not going to use him like that, he doesn't work if we're playing tiki-taka.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
I don't think he'll work at Fulham. I barely think he'll get on the pitch.
I think he'd be a great
what will happen
gladiator.
If he could score, we lose to Fulham.
They'll sell him for like $5 million or something. You know?
I don't know. He's gonna find that finishing touch and put away 20.
You would love to see it. I would love to see it. As a Wolves fan, I would love to hate to see it, but I would love to see it. Seriously, I want nothing but the best for him. He's so talented in so many other ways. He's still very, very raw.
When he would run through the middle sometimes, it kind of looked like defenders would just like peel off of him. They're like, I don't want to die.
And that's another thing
leave
too
a weight
about
behind him.
I would want him to kind of like know that he's big and just take him on instead of he goes down way too easily. The slightest contact, he's falling on the ground. That's why he doesn't get any calls. But if he did like a Haaland where he just ran through you, he would get all the calls, because they would just be hanging on for dear life, like hands filled with baby oil.
You're be sleeping off with the baby oil.
Help me, But yeah, nothing but the best for him. Same thing with Jimenez and everybody else that's gone. But good Lord, we had a terrible fucking window.
I just don't understand. I still don't really understand the lack of reinvestment in players because a few years ago they were splashing the cash.
Same way that Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth are. They come up and they splash the cash, knowing that it's a 5-year window for financial fair play, or what's the
3 year?
3 year.
Yeah,
a rolling 3. I mean, I guess the chickens came to roost.
Your entire midfield.
We've sold everybody in the last 2 years.
Lamina, right? But basically, Matinho, Neves, and Nunes are gone.
João Matinho, I think, came back. I think he accepted a year offer, but I'm not sure.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it happened to... No, I'm sorry. That's Johnny. Not Matinho. No, Matinho went to, somewhere in Germany, I want to say.
And then who's the center back, you guys? What's his name? Collins?
The guy from City?
Nathan Collins.
Nathan Collins is gone.
We sold him to... I don't know who we sold him to, but we sold him for nothing. We sold him almost exactly what we paid for him. I think we made 1.5 or something like that. It was just stupid business. It's Jeff Shee and Fosun, they're all like, oh, we're running this like a business. And it's just like, what is your business model like Donald Trump? You're just losing money. You're spending all this money, and then you're turning around and you're making like a 30-year bond interest. I mean, it's nothing. They are making nothing off these players. The exception being is Nunez. Ruben Neves.
Even
that's because the Saudi team spent like $50 million on him.
In retrospect, though, I feel like even the amount you got for Neves is probably less than you should have gotten for him.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, especially doing the spending, right?
But really, it was. I mean, let's add that to the poor business plan. Teams are like, oh yeah, we know you're going to have to sell him, otherwise he's going to go free at the end of the season. So they know. It's
much in the same way that
situation. The Nunez situation, I don't understand because he was still signed to us for 4 to 5 years. And we got fuck all for that guy. And if this is a player that Pep says, oh, he's the best midfielder in the world, then why not pay us for it? I've got age lines because of it.
I don't know, man.
Much in the same way as there's this like English tax when it comes to buying and selling English players. There should be a Saudi Arabian tax. If a Saudi Arabian team is coming in for one of your players, you have to bump it up.
Premier League, if you're watching, that's a really good idea. Because it's only a matter of time before they completely dilute the world's talent. And they're just the best will play for Saudi Arabia because there's so much money.
But the money that's coming into the Premier League now, it's kind of helping the Premier League, right? Because, if they come in and they buy a Salah for 170 million, so let's say, use that as an example, Liverpool now have another 170 million that they're going to be spreading around.
Sure, but if the Saudis buy up the talent pool,
prices on it,
what's your money going toward if the Saudis already bought them?
Yeah, but it's also like the $20 million player is a 40 million, a 40 is an 80. Like, once they know you have 170 million pounds in your pocket, it's like,
Yeah.
The team you're trying to buy, their 21-year-old Belgian prodigy from is like, that's going to be 40 now.
I think what really plays into it now are wages. The Saudis are offering stupid wages, and they're just like getting the personal agreement.
Salah, like, $2 million a week.
Your player wants to play for us. How much do you want?
That's nuts, man.
I mean, like I'm sorry, I saw the writer that Neymar got. We posted it on the thread. I didn't believe it. I was like, this isn't true. This is just over bloated, and people were like, no, man. This is what they're giving him. And I'm like, there are so many players that are looking at that precedent and they're saying, I want me some of that Saudi money.
Well, the problem is they started offering academy players. They said, young players, if you want to move here, we'll pay you X amount of money per week. We'll give you a car. We'll give you a house.
And they get so much more than they would have in England or in other leagues.
What was it Neymar was going to get?
Because it's just that's not sustainable.
Yeah, $500,000 for every tweet.
That's positive about Saudi Arabia. I'll be tweeting like no one, man. I'll be tweeting more. I'll do more from tweets than my salary.
Yeah, but there's also probably quality tweets. There has to be like you have to mention this, and this.
To have.
I'll mention whatever they want.
He probably has a hired tweeter.
Well, he has to mention.
Hey, everybody.
If you're watching Neymar, if you want to hire a tweeter Neymar and you're watching, just saying.
I'd fucking
all right.
Neymar.
Well, fellas, it's been great talking to you guys. Another awesome Friday night. But if anybody wants to join us backstage for a minute, we sent the link out there. But yeah. Sorry, I have the hiccups on my 6th beer. Sorry. But Mark, thank you so much for joining us. Dirty Jersey. Chris, that you got to come up with a better name than that. That's very derogatory towards you. But Dirty Chris from Dirty Jers and Stan the Man. See, I told you I had the hiccups. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Oh, fuck.
This has been a lot of fun.
Mark,
Join us next week at 7 p.m.
Close this out. Thank you.
Eastern time. And then look for some various content that we've got coming up. We're going to be doing some sort of show at Fancy Free over in Fort Greene on Friday or on Sunday for the Arsenal Man United show. So look for that information or look for those shows. We'll also do some other fun shit as well. Once again, everybody, thanks for joining us.
And join us after the show's over.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't mind talking to him.
We'll do transfers in the dark after we sign off. In other words, Lolo, think of a white horse against a blue background, and Director John, play us out, man. We love y'all. Peace.